What if your inner peace was a fortress, the most valuable territory you possess, and you were its sworn protector, its elite guardian? In a world that constantly lays siege to our tranquility, this is not a metaphor. It is a mindset, a discipline, and a path to unshakable strength. This video is your training manual to become the warrior who guards that peace. Protect your peace like a Stoic warrior, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Embracing inner strength. Imagine your peace of mind as a great fortified citadel. It has high, impenetrable walls, a single, well-guarded gate, and a peaceful, well-ordered city thriving within. The fundamental inner conflict that every human being faces every single day is where to station the limited number of guards at their command. Most of us make a critical, exhausting strategic error. We post our guards on the distant hills, miles outside the city, trying desperately and futilely to control the weather, the opinions of travelers on the road, and the direction of the wind. We exhaust our life force and our precious resources, trying to manage a vast, chaotic landscape that is, by its very nature, fundamentally beyond our command. The painful and tragic problem with this flawed strategy is that it leaves the citadel itself, our own mind, our faculty of choice, our inner peace, completely undefended, with the gates left wide open. While we are busy worrying about a potential storm on the horizon or what a neighboring town thinks of us, we allow anxiety, fear, resentment, and despair to rush in and run rampant within the city streets, looting our happiness and setting fire to our tranquility. We feel powerless, perpetually stressed, and chronically exhausted because we have chosen to fight 1,000 impossible battles we can never win, while ignoring the one battle that truly matters and is always winnable, the battle for the sovereignty and security of our own inner state. The transformative solution, the cornerstone of all Stoic wisdom and the beginning of all personal power, is to call your guards back from the distant hills and station them firmly and vigilantly at the one and only gate you truly and absolutely command, the gate of your own reasoned judgment. The core idea is the profound and life-altering principle known as the dichotomy of control, a beacon of clarity in a confusing world. This timeless teaching divides the entire universe into two clear and distinct categories: that which is within our control and that which is not. Outside our control are the vast majority of things: the actions and opinions of others, our reputation, our wealth, our health in the long term, past events, and the final outcomes of our most sincere efforts. Within our complete and total control is a small but immensely powerful domain: our own judgments about things, our chosen intentions, our deliberate responses, our personal values, and the unwavering integrity of our character. A person who lives in turmoil is one who constantly tries to station their guards in the outer circle, their peace rising and falling with every external shift. A person who cultivates inner peace, a Stoic warrior, focuses with serene, unshakable intensity on mastering the inner circle. The benefit of embracing this division is a massive, immediate release of wasted energy and the dawning of a profound, unshakable peace. You stop squandering your precious life force on the uncontrollable and focus it like a laser on the one area where you are a king, a sovereign, an absolute ruler. The actionable step to begin this practice is to conduct an inner citadel inventory. Take a piece of paper and draw a large circle, and inside it, a smaller one. Inside the small central circle, list the things that are the true sources of lasting peace and are entirely up to you: your patience, your perspective, your kindness, your discipline, your integrity. In the large outer circle, list the things you often think you need for peace, but which are external and uncontrollable. Other people being nice to you, a quiet environment, a specific outcome happening, receiving praise. This visual exercise makes the distinction powerfully and undeniably clear. By consistently referring to this mental map throughout your day, you will begin to feel a monumental and liberating shift in your perspective. You will train yourself to seek peace not from the chaotic outer world, but from the well-ordered inner citadel of your own mind. This is the foundation of a truly unshakable inner peace, the beginning of learning to protect your tranquility from the inside out. I urge you to see your life through the lens of this circle, starting today. Practice consciously pulling your focus back from the outer circle and placing it firmly on the inner circle where your true power lies. This is the first and most crucial strategy for the warrior of peace. This inner strength provides the fortress, but a fortress must be able to withstand a siege. How do we build the resilience to endure life's inevitable attacks? Our next lesson will focus on cultivating mental resilience. Before we continue, please subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to formally commit to becoming the guardian of your own peace. Lesson 2. Cultivating mental resilience. Imagine a warrior preparing for a great battle. A foolish warrior would spend his days in comfort and ease, hoping that the battle will not be difficult. He arrives on the field with soft muscles and untested armor, and he is the first to fall. The wise warrior, the Stoic warrior, however, spends his days in rigorous training. He spars with skilled partners, he endures long marches, he practices with his weapons until they are an extension of his own body. He deliberately introduces stress and hardship in a controlled environment so that he is not shocked or overwhelmed by the chaos of real combat. The inner conflict we face is that we all want the resilience of the wise warrior, but we live the life of the foolish one. We crave comfort, we seek ease, and we construct lives that are as free from hardship and discomfort as possible, fundamentally misunderstanding that these things are the very source of our fragility. The painful problem with this is that a life dedicated to the avoidance of discomfort makes us incredibly weak. When real, unavoidable adversity arrives, as it always does, we have no strength to meet it because we have never trained for it. We are like an athlete who has only read books about running, suddenly forced to compete in a marathon. We shatter under the first sign of real pressure because our mental and emotional muscles have completely atrophied from a lifetime of disuse. Our peace is fragile because it has never been tested. The transformative solution is to become the wise warrior of your own mind. It is to embrace the powerful Stoic practice of building your mental resilience through small, daily, and entirely voluntary doses of discomfort. The core idea is that just as our physical muscles grow stronger by being subjected to calculated resistance, our willpower, our discipline, and our resilience grow stronger when we deliberately exercise them against resistance. The Stoics practice this through a concept known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of future challenges, and by choosing to endure minor, voluntary discomforts in the present moment. The benefit of this practice is that you effectively harden yourself against the inevitable shocks and arrows of life. You are building a powerful psychological immune system. By proving to yourself every single day that you can handle and even thrive in the face of voluntary hardship, you cultivate a deep, quiet, and unshakable confidence that you can also handle the involuntary hardships that life will surely send your way. Your peace becomes robust and battle-tested. The actionable step is to choose one daily hardship to practice. This should not be something dangerous, harmful, or extreme. It should be small, safe, and deliberate, designed to train your will. Examples include taking a cold shower for the last 30 seconds, intentionally taking the stairs instead of the elevator, fasting from a minor pleasure like sugar or social media for a day, waking up 15 minutes earlier than you absolutely need to, or choosing to do a difficult task first thing in the morning. The point is not the specific act itself, but the powerful message you are sending to your mind. I am in control. I can choose to do hard things. My comfort is not my master. My will is. By consistently applying this small daily stress, you are methodically tempering your spirit, just as the blacksmith tempers steel. You are proving to yourself, through action, that your desire for comfort does not have the final say. The pervasive, low-grade anxiety that comes from a comfortable, untested life begins to recede, replaced by the calm confidence of a warrior who knows they are resilient because they actively practice resilience every day. I urge you to choose one small, voluntary discomfort for this week. See it as your daily sparring session, your training ground for the mind. This resilience builds strong fortress walls, but a fortress is only as strong as the sentinels who guard its gates. How do we master our emotional reactions that threaten to breach our defenses? Our next lesson will focus on the crucial skill of mastering emotional control. Please comment below and share what small but voluntary hardship you are willing to try this week. Your commitment can inspire our entire community. Lesson 3. Mastering emotional control. Picture the great fortified citadel of your mind once more. At its main gate stands a single, highly skilled sentinel. This sentinel is your rational mind, your faculty of reason. His solemn duty is to inspect every messenger, every traveler, every piece of information that seeks entry into the peaceful city within. He knows some messengers bring valuable news, but others are liars, propagandists, or agents of chaos sent to incite fear and disorder. The inner conflict we face daily is that we often abandon this post. We allow our sentinel to fall asleep, leaving the gates of our mind wide open and undefended. The painful problem with this lack of vigilance is that it allows our peace to be constantly overthrown from within. A messenger in the form of a rude comment, a piece of bad news, or a negative thought arrives unchallenged. This messenger, which the Stoics called an impression, rushes into the city and shouts, "We are under attack. This is a disaster. You have been disrespected." Before we even know what's happening, the city is in an uproar. The emotions of anger, fear, and anxiety run rampant, looting our tranquility and overthrowing the calm rule of reason. We are besieged not by an external enemy, but by our own unexamined reactions. The transformative solution is to train and post a vigilant, skilled sentinel at the gate, one who embraces the Stoic art of challenging every impression before granting it entry into the fortress of the mind. The core idea, taught masterfully by Epictetus, is that there is a crucial chain of events in our psychology. First, there is the external event. Second, there is our initial impression or thought about that event. Third, there is our assent, the moment we agree with the impression and accept it as truth. And fourth, there is the emotion that results from that assent. The Stoic warrior knows his power lies not in controlling the event, but in intervening at the moment of assent. The untrained mind assents to every impression automatically. The trained mind pauses to inspect it first. The benefit of this is that you become the calm commander of your inner world. You stop being a victim of your own emotional flare-ups. You can experience the world without being constantly thrown into turmoil by it. Your inner peace becomes stable and self-directed, protected by the wisdom of your inner guard. The actionable step is to practice the challenge the impression technique. When you feel a strong negative emotion beginning to arise, imagine that emotion's root thought as a messenger arriving at your gate. Your sentinel must stop the messenger and ask it 3 questions. 1. Are you a fact, or are you just a story I'm telling myself? 2. Is this matter something that is within my complete control or outside of it? 3. Is granting you entry and believing you fully worth the price of my inner peace? For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, the messenger shouts, "That was a sign of great disrespect." Your sentinel calmly asks, "Is it a fact that it was disrespect or just a story?" I don't know their mind. Their driving is outside my control. Is surrendering my peace and becoming enraged over this truly worth it? No. By practicing this internal dialogue, you disarm negative impressions before they can wreak havoc. You create a buffer of rational thought between stimulus and response. The initial spark of emotion may still occur, but it no longer has to become a raging fire. I urge you to see yourself as this sentinel this week. Your peace is the city you are sworn to protect. Do not let enemy messengers enter unchallenged. Guarding the main gate is essential, but the modern world lays siege to our fortress with 1,000 tiny distractions. How do we protect our peace from this constant low-level attack? Our next lesson is on overcoming external distractions. If you are ready to become the sentinel of your mind, like this video, to signal your commitment. Lesson 4. Overcoming external distractions. Imagine the fortress of your inner peace once again. A wise commander knows that a fortress is rarely taken by a single, massive frontal assault. It is far more common for it to fall through a slow war of attrition, its resources drained and its defenders exhausted by 1,000 small, persistent attacks. In our modern world, these small attacks are the constant barrage of external distractions. The endless notifications on our phone, the 24-hour news cycle, designed to provoke outrage, the meaningless gossip of colleagues, the infinite scroll of social media. The inner conflict is our desire for peace versus our addiction to these distractions. We crave tranquility, yet we voluntarily carry the enemy's primary siege weapon in our own pocket. The painful problem is that this constant stream of trivial, urgent, but not important information slowly erodes our peace. It shatters our focus, creates a low-grade hum of anxiety, and drains our most valuable resource, our attention. Our peace is not destroyed by one great catastrophe, but by a death by 1,000 cuts from notifications, emails, and headlines. We feel scattered, unfocused, and mentally cluttered, never able to achieve the deep state of calm we desire, because we are constantly reacting to the besieging army of digital noise. The transformative solution is to become a ruthless guardian of your attention, to embrace the Stoic understanding that your focus is the lifeblood of your inner peace, and it must be protected as fiercely as the main gate of your citadel. The core idea is that what you pay attention to, you give power to. If you constantly feed your mind with a diet of outrage, gossip, and triviality, your inner world will become outraged, gossipy, and trivial. Your peace will be impossible to maintain. The Stoic warrior understands that a calm and ordered mind requires a calm and ordered information diet. He does not allow the enemy to dictate the terms of engagement. He consciously chooses what is allowed to enter his field of awareness. The benefit is a profound increase in mental clarity and a dramatic reduction in daily anxiety. When you starve the fires of distraction, they simply go out. You reclaim vast reserves of mental energy that you can then direct toward things that truly matter: your work, your family, your own personal growth. Your inner world becomes quieter, deeper, and more peaceful. The actionable step is to implement an attention diet or a digital sunset. This is a conscious and scheduled restriction of information intake. For example, you could commit to this rule. For the first hour after waking up and the last hour before going to sleep, there will be no news, no social media, and no email. This creates a powerful mental buffer at the beginning and end of your day, allowing your mind to start from a place of calm and to wind down into a state of peace. You can also schedule specific, limited times during the day to check these things, rather than letting them interrupt you constantly. By implementing this structure, you are no longer a passive target for distraction. You are the commander who dictates the rules of engagement. You will be amazed at how much calmer and more focused you feel when you are not constantly reacting to the world's manufactured urgency. Your ability to think deeply will return, and your baseline level of peace will rise significantly. I urge you to try the digital sunset for just 1 week. Protect the first and last hour of your day as if they are the most sacred ground within your fortress, because they are. Protecting ourselves from the daily siege of distractions is key. But what happens when a real crisis hits? When the chaos is not just a distraction, but a full-blown storm? How do we find calm then? Our next lesson is on developing calmness in chaos. Please comment below and share one distraction you are willing to reduce to protect your peace. Lesson 5. Developing calmness in chaos. Picture a massive, powerful hurricane churning across the ocean. The winds at its edge are violent and destructive, capable of tearing anything in their path to pieces. The storm is a terrifying spectacle of pure, chaotic power. Yet, at the exact center of this raging storm is a place of profound and perfect calm. The eye of the hurricane. Here, the sun may be shining, the winds are still, and there is an eerie, powerful peace, even as utter chaos rages just a few miles away. The inner conflict for the Stoic warrior is to learn how to find and inhabit this eye of the storm when the hurricanes of life strike. When a true crisis hits, a sudden job loss, frightening medical diagnosis, a deep betrayal, our training can feel forgotten, and our instinct is to get swept up into the violent, chaotic winds of the storm's edge. The painful problem is that when we are caught in this panic, our thinking becomes clouded. We make rash, fear-based decisions. We say and do things that make the situation worse. We are so consumed by the chaos of the storm that we lose our ability to navigate through it effectively. Our own panic becomes a second, more dangerous storm than the external event itself. The transformative solution is to have a pre-planned, deeply practiced technique that allows you to access your own internal eye of the storm, a place of profound calm and perspective, even when chaos is raging all around you. The core idea is the Stoic practice, often referred to as the view from above. This is a powerful meditation technique designed to provide instant perspective by cognitively zooming out from your immediate problem and viewing it against the vast backdrop of space and time. It is the ultimate tool for shrinking a problem down to its true manageable size, thereby diminishing its emotional power over you. The benefit of mastering this technique is that you gain a superpower, the ability to find calm and clarity in the very moments you need them most. Instead of being swept away by the panic of the storm, you can retreat to your inner center, the eye of the hurricane, and make wise, rational decisions from a place of peace. This ability is the hallmark of a true leader and a warrior of the mind. The actionable step is to learn and practice this view from above meditation when you are calm, so it becomes second nature during a crisis. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. First, visualize yourself and your immediate problem in the room you are in. Then, imagine your point of view floating up, looking down on your home, your street, your city. Continue to rise, seeing your country, the continents, the blue marble of Earth itself. Go further, past the moon and the planets, until the sun is just another star. From this silent cosmic perch, look back at that tiny planet and consider the spot where your problem is unfolding. Contemplate the immense timeline of history, the billions of people who have lived and died, the rise and fall of civilizations. Now, place your problem within that vast context. See it for what it is, a fleeting moment, a tiny speck. Breathe in the peace of this immense perspective. By practicing this regularly, you forge a neural pathway to a place of profound tranquility. In a moment of crisis, this practiced perspective becomes your anchor, your eye of the storm. The initial surge of panic will still happen, but you will have a tool to quickly find your center and respond with wisdom. I encourage you to practice this visualization tonight before you sleep. Build your inner sanctuary so you know how to find it when the winds begin to howl. Finding calm is one thing, but how do we handle our attachments to the things the storm threatens to take away? Our next lesson explores the liberating power of detachment. To support our channel's mission, please consider sharing this video with someone who is currently going through a storm. Lesson 6. The power of detachment. Imagine a master archer preparing to shoot at a distant target. She has practiced her art for thousands of hours. She focuses with serene intensity on every single thing within her control. Her stance, her grip on the bow, the smoothness of her draw, the control of her breath, and the precision of her release. This entire process, the shot itself, is her domain. But the moment the arrow leaves the string, it enters a world she does not control. A sudden gust of wind, an unseen imperfection in the arrow, or a slight movement of the target are all possibilities. The inner conflict we face is that we are archers who are obsessively, anxiously attached to the arrow's final destination. The painful problem is that when we fuse our sense of success and peace of mind to a specific outcome that we do not fully control, we are setting ourselves up for constant anxiety and disappointment. We do our best work on a project, but then we are consumed with anxiety about whether the boss will like it. We act with kindness in a relationship, but we are tormented by the fear that the other person might leave. Our peace is constantly held hostage by the flight of the arrow after it has already left our bow. This attachment to outcomes is one of an inner warrior's greatest vulnerabilities. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of the Stoic archer, to fall in love with the process of shooting well, and to practice a calm, rational detachment from the arrow's final landing place. The core idea is to separate your actions from their results. The Stoic warrior pours 100% of his effort, excellence, and virtue into the action itself, the part he controls. Then he accepts the result, whatever it may be, with equanimity and grace, because he knows the result was never entirely up to him. His self-worth and inner peace are derived from the quality of his own shot, not from whether it hits the bullseye. The benefit of this practice is the achievement of what we might call ambition without anxiety. You can pursue great goals with passion and excellence, but you are freed from the corrosive, performance-killing anxiety that comes from being desperately attached to the outcome. Paradoxically, this detachment often leads to better results, because you are more focused, calm, and present in the act itself. The actionable step is to practice a process versus prize reflection for any important goal you have. Take out your journal and create 2 columns. In the prize column, write down the desired outcome that is not fully in your control, e.g., get the promotion, win the game, have them love me back. In the process column, write down all the things that constitute a successful process and are 100% within your control, e.g., prepare for the interview meticulously, play with full effort and sportsmanship, be a kind, supportive, and virtuous partner. Then, make a conscious decision to attach your self-worth and your peace of mind only to the process column. By doing this, you are retraining your mind to find satisfaction in your own excellent effort, not in the fickle rewards of the world. You will find a new level of freedom and fearlessness in your pursuits. I urge you to apply this framework to one of your goals this week. Define your process, execute it with excellence, and then practice letting the arrow fly without anxiety. We have now gathered all the strategies and tools for protecting our peace. How do we integrate them into a daily way of life to create a truly lasting state of tranquility? Our final lesson is on creating lasting peace within. Please like this video if you found this concept of detachment liberating. Lesson 7. Creating lasting peace within. Imagine again the hearth fire, burning quietly and steadily in the center of a well-built home. This fire represents your inner peace, your state of tranquility. This fire doesn't burn brightly, only when the weather outside is calm and sunny. It is a constant source of warmth and light, diligently tended by the home's owner, providing a sanctuary of peace regardless of the raging blizzard or howling winds outside. It is not a temporary state. It is a permanent feature of the home. The final inner conflict we face is the tendency to view peace as a temporary state we achieve and then inevitably lose, a fleeting visitor rather than a permanent resident of our minds. The painful problem with this view is that it creates a new kind of anxiety, the fear of losing our peace. We have a good, calm day, and we immediately start to worry about what will ruin it tomorrow. We treat peace as a fragile object to be protected rather than a resilient fire to be tended. This means we never truly relax into our own tranquility because we are always guarding against its departure. The transformative solution is to understand that lasting peace is not a destination you arrive at, but the emergent property of a life well lived. It is the natural result, the warm glow, that emanates from the consistent daily practice of all the principles we have discussed. It is the fire that you tend to every single day. The core idea is the final integration of all the previous lessons into a single, cohesive philosophy of life. Lasting peace is the reward for a life of virtue, resilience, and wisdom. It is the outcome of embracing your inner strength, building resilience through daily challenges, mastering your emotions at the gate, guarding your attention from distractions, finding your calm center in a crisis, and detaching from outcomes. It is not one of these things. It is the synergistic effect of all of them practiced together. The benefit is that you stop chasing peace and start embodying it. Tranquility ceases to be a goal and simply becomes your natural state of being. You become the Stoic warrior whose peace is not a fragile shield he holds up against the world, but the very core of his being, a quiet fire that warms him and all who are lucky enough to enter his presence. The actionable step is to create a Stoic's daily oath, or a morning ritual. Before you engage with the world each day, take just 2 minutes to sit in silence and set your intention for the day, reminding yourself of the principles. You might say to yourself, "Today, I will focus only on what I can control." I will welcome challenges as training. I will guard the gates of my mind from negative impressions. I will direct my attention wisely. I will act with virtue. My peace comes from my character and my actions, and from nothing else. This morning ritual primes your mind for the day ahead. It is the act of tending to your inner fire before the cold winds of the world begin to blow. It reinforces the understanding that your peace is your responsibility, and you have all the tools you need to protect it. I urge you to write your own version of this daily oath and begin practicing it tomorrow morning. It will become the most important and empowering moment of your day. This is how you move from practicing Stoicism to truly living it, and how you create a peace so deep and so resilient that it becomes the very definition of who you are. We have journeyed through the 7 disciplines of the Stoic warrior, from building the inner fortress to tending the constant inner fire. This path teaches that true peace is not a fragile state to be found, but a resilient character to be built. It is the ultimate prize for a life of wisdom, courage, and self-mastery. Thank you for taking the time to train with us today. If this video has provided you with value on your journey, please like, comment with your greatest insight, and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel for more content on becoming the unshakable guardian of your own peace.